Hey everyone, so I was a bit too lazy to type out all the slides today, so I thought I'd just use my voice and hopefully that'll help convey a lot of the messages of the tutorial a lot more effectively. This one's going to cover the real basics, so if you've already got them down pat, you can probably just skip this video and wait for the more complex one I'll do in the future. So let's get going. So in this first jump here, I'm going to show you the real basics of the rocket jump, which is basically maximizing the distance that your rocket propels you. And that is basically making the best use of jump, crouch, and shoot. Ordinarily without this, you'll just shoot a rocket at your feet, and you'll take a lot of damage and go basically nowhere. So what you're going to want to do is, almost simultaneously, but with just a slight break between in this order, you're going to want to go jump, then crouch, and then shoot your rocket. Remember, these happen almost simultaneously, but with just a slight break in between, because if you crouch too early, you can't actually jump from there. So I'll show you what that does here. Right there you can see I actually managed to get all the way up here, and I go a hell of a lot further than I would without that. A lot of the time though in pubs, you're not just going to want to go straight up by putting a rocket at your feet, because you'll take a lot of fall damage on the way down, and you'll probably end up getting yourself killed without really getting anywhere. So to actually fiddle around with getting distance and less height, or just basically changing the ratio of those two, you're going to want to fiddle around with your rocket placement. So if I want to go further with less height, I'll put my rocket further behind me. Whereas if I want to go higher, but not quite as far, I'll put my rocket more downwards. So I found a good ratio, a good kind of starting position for your rocket can be about here, a bit past 90 degrees and a little bit behind you. So if I want to get up here from there, I just go like that, and it takes me up to the top of the ledge. So like I said, you can just fiddle around with where you put your rocket as to how far that rocket will take you. For those of you who saw my market garden tutorial, you will have seen me talk about the importance of height management in not really hurting yourself and allowing you to get places faster without taking fall damage. Like I showed you before, one of the ways you can do that is by placing a rocket behind, but in pubs, one of the really useful things you can find lying around are props or walls to jump off. They'll allow you to go far without actually taking much fall damage at all. So I'll show you here. Right there you can see I managed to travel a pretty decent distance and take 0 fall damage. So to do a jump off prop like this, you don't want to aim directly into the wall, you want to put your rocket about here, just a bit behind you. And you want to do the same we did before, jump, crouch, shoot. Remember, that's something you're going to want to do in every single jump. And so you're going to shoot your rocket about there, and that'll propel you across. Done. For those of you who have seen a lot of my bad water spawn to spawn, or upward spawn to spawn, or basically just most of my jumping videos, you'll see me do a thing where while I'm midway through a jump, I'll shoot another rocket at the ground, and that propels me forward at a reasonable speed. What this jump here teaches you is the absolute basics of that, which is just the pogo, and the idea that you can jump without actually touching the ground continuously with rocket regen like here. But but this basically teaches you the absolute foundations of a speed shot, which is where you shoot at the ground, propel yourself forward. So in this kind of jump here, you literally want to walk off the edge and just hold down crouch while aiming at the floor. And right there you can see it levitates me and I don't hit the ground. So to just get to the end of this kind of thing, you do that and hold W to move forward. With those, if you start gaining extra speed, you don't want to continue aiming directly down, you want to start putting your rocket further in front of you to adjust for that speed. Here you can see the first example of a strafe jump. Strafing is one of the most important things when it comes to rocket jumping. It's basically the ability to steer yourself when you're in the air, so you're not locked in a single direction once you do your original jump. So without strafing, this jump would be impossible because I fly through the air, but I'm unable to change my direction once I begin. So what you want to do is to turn to strafe in a certain direction when you're in the air. You want to hold down, if I want to strafe to the left, A, or if I want to strafe to the left, D, while slowly turning your mouse in the direction that you're looking to strafe. Now, I can't stress that you have to do the mouse turn slowly. A lot of beginners will freak out and snap their mouse in the direction they want to go, but that'll just scrub your speed and the strafe will end and you'll lose all your momentum. So I'll show you an example of me doing a strafe around these two things. It requires me to strafe left and then strafe right again. Right there you can see I turn my aim at a reasonable speed, but nothing too fast. Okay, so like I was talking about before when we were doing the pogo jump, here is the first basic example of a speed shot, which is basically while midway through a jump you shoot a rocket beneath you and that propels you forward even further. So I'll show you an example of that. So what I do is, as I'm passing over the barrier, I shoot directly beneath me, or maybe slightly forward, and then that gives me an extra boost. Now, you want to do the same wall climb as before, and the wall jump as before, and the key for this is managing your height and trying to pass as low over that barrier as you can without actually touching it, because this will give you extra propulsion from the rocket you fire downwards. The only extra little tip I can give you on this kind of jump is to actually flick your view upwards once you've fired your rocket, because of questionable TF2 physics, that'll actually give you a noticeable boost. So I hope my voice didn't annoy you guys too much throughout that video. I'll try and bring out part 2 in the next week or two. Subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I guess that'll pop in a new sub box. I'm also working on the second part of the Market Garden video, so hopefully I'll have that done for you in about a week as well.